witches, how you doing today? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Taya, and today we are going to continue our journey with sloth as one of the 7 deadly sins. And especially I want to talk today a little bit about how sloth is advantageous to me. I want to take a look at the animal, the sloth, and I want to share with you a special picture that I created to help me remember to keep sloth in my life. So first, let's take a look at an actual animal that is named after the deadly sin, the sloth. So I'm going to start out with a little quote from a man named George Buffon. And he was the first person to describe the sloth in writing in his Encyclopedia of Life Sciences in 1749. So, going on just about 500 years ago. He says, "Slowness, habitual pain, and stupidity are the results of this strange and bungled conformation. These sloths are the lowest form of existence. One more defect would have made their lives impossible." Whoa! Packed with morality and judgment. So, one thing that Mr. Buffon seems to be missing is that sloths are different than humans, right? And just because something is different doesn't mean that it's wrong. And we shouldn't impose human morality and values on the animal kingdom. Animals are very morally neutral, right? They are looking out for their survival. And finally, slowness isn't lazy, it's a survival skill. So let's look at the sloth and how its laziness is actually a highly adapted survival skill. So sloths are incredibly slow-moving animals. The 3-toed sloth is the slowest moving animal on the whole planet. Often what they do is they almost hang motionless on a branch between when they're feeding and they're sleeping. Now, they only sleep 8 to 10 hours a day in the wild. So it's not that long. So it's not like they're just laying around sleeping all day. They do move. However, they just move so incredibly slowly at a very measured pace. And what it is it's a survival strategy. Part of it has to do with their digestion, which we won't get into, but as a whole, sloths have been around for 65.5 million years. Sloths arrived on the scene here on Earth right before the dinosaurs went extinct. If nothing else, does that not show that a slow-paced lifestyle can be a good survival strategy? And the way that it works is that sloths move so slowly that predators do not identify them as prey. What most predators do is they're looking for movement and motion, right? And they see something moving and they go, oh, that's an animal, I can eat it, right? If it's not moving, it's a rock or a plant or something inedible. So sloths adapted to move so slowly that they're not recognized as prey. That's pretty amazing. So the sloth of a sloth is a survival skill, and a very effective one at that, 65.5 million years. So how is sloth good for me? Well, it's also a survival skill for me. What does sloth do? It creates a feeling of warm safety. It keeps the stress and anxiety at bay. It's kind of like a cocoon that it just you know what I mean? I just get wrapped in sloth, and it makes me slow down, and then I'm less overwhelmed in life. What sloth does is it puts my mental health first. It puts me first. And isn't that just what the deadly sins are about? Stopping people from putting themselves first. Stopping people from prioritizing their own needs and wants. stopping people from prioritizing their own basic survival. For what? For the good of the collective? If I'm prioritizing myself, I'm not breaking my back in labor for my masters. Again, right? It's about capitalism, patriarchy, and the Christian paradigm. So I created a small picture to sort of help myself remember to stay slothful. This lovely little guy right here. You can see it's not my bed. I'm not at all like my bed, but this really comfy, I thought little pink bed. And I've got my little sloth buddy. See, this is where I go. And he's just waiting, and we're going to have snuggles and cocoon together. And then I have this little poppet here to remind me about like self-care and taking care of myself. I've been meaning to actually start a project like that, to create an actual poppet representing myself that I can do healing and self-work on. And the plant up here, I haven't really figured out what the plant is for. I mean, it's a nice little pop of greenery. It's nature. But there's something to it, right? Plants produce oxygen. Energetically, plants are protective. So yeah, I just wanted to add a little plant into my cocoon. So that is my week 3 of the 7 deadly sins for Witches Black Lent. Yeah. Do you have sloth in your life? How does it help you? I'd love to know what other people think about the sin of sloth and sort of how it operates in your life. For me, it's a survival strategy, just like my new spirit animal, the sloth. All right, friends, that's it for today. We'll catch you in the next one.